Alright, so today we're going to be testing out the Hydralight water-powered flashlight. Now this flashlight is, obviously it's advertised to be like an emergency flashlight, something that it doesn't take batteries, it has some type of water-powered fuel cell that I don't really know how it works. The idea is that you can just like throw this flashlight in a drawer, you don't have to store batteries with it or anything, and then whenever you need it, as long as you have water, you can fill up the fuel cell and then you have light. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, just like we do with everything else, try it out, run it through its paces, see if it's worth the money, and then compare it to some other products that are also in the same kind of genre, basically just flashlights and stuff like that. So let's get this thing open, see exactly what we're dealing with here. Oh wow. Huh. No instructions. That's nice. It's not like I was gonna read them anyway. This thing is really big. Like this is like a 1980s flashlight that takes like just massive batteries. I guess this one came with 2 of the batteries. I thought it was only supposed to come with 1. I don't know what's in here, but it doesn't feel like much. I mean, this thing feels really, really light. This thing seems just really basic. It has 2 modes, supposedly. You can keep it like this, and then you're just supposed to like shine it like a normal flashlight, and then you can pull this up and set it down, and it's supposed to be like a lantern. So we'll obviously be testing both of those modes, see how those work out. It's very stiff. So let's get this thing. Ow! The plastic is sharp. Let's just use a knife and get this thing open. I'm trying to see like what's in there, but you can't hardly see into it. It's just like, it's so light. You wouldn't think that this would hold any type of like energy or anything in it. I'm actually curious to see how much this thing weighs because it's so light. It weighs 103 grams. A normal C battery, 66 grams. So before we test this Hydralight, I need to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Ridge Wallet. I'm sure that most of you are probably carrying around big, bulky leather wallets that collect a bunch of stuff that you don't need, like receipts, change, hotel keys, just a whole bunch of stuff you're never going to use again. So that's where the Ridge Wallet comes in. Ridge has really simplified the wallet, and it carries just what you need, cards and cash. The Ridge Wallet holds 12 credit cards, and they're extremely easy to get in and out. You just slide them in, put them back in. It also has a money clip on the back to hold your cash. The Ridge Wallet holds 12 credit cards. It comes in over 30 different styles. It has over 30,000 5-star reviews. It also has a lifetime warranty, so you can buy this one wallet and carry it for life. And also, if you're on the fence about buying one, you don't know if you want one or not, you can buy one and then you can test drive it for 45 days. And if you don't like it, you can send it back and get a full refund. So if you're interested in one of these wallets, there's going to be a link in the top of my description. You click that link, you use code TylerTube, and you get 10% off. So I got a bucket of water. From what I read on the internet, you're just supposed to be able to just dump this thing in here and slosh it around and get it all nice and wet, which feels really, really weird, dunking what's supposed to provide something electricity into water. It seems very, very counterproductive. So after you duck it in, you're supposed to then take it out, and then you're supposed to sling all the water out of it that you can. And then according to this thing, you're supposed to insert from this end. So we'll do that. And then that is the weakest light. You can probably just barely see that. I mean, that is like the weakest light I've ever seen in my life. I might have read that wrong. Maybe you're supposed to let it soak. I'm gonna let it soak and then we'll come back. All right, you guys are gonna be shocked because I am evolving. I went and I found the instructions online, and you are supposed to only put this in the water for 10 to 12 seconds and then vigorously shake the water out. And then you're supposed to be good to go. So I put it in there for 12 seconds, and I'm gonna vigorously shake the water out. I think that was pretty vigorously. So put it in this way. Alright. You can almost see a little bit of light. You can almost see some light. That's a pathetic amount of light. Did I not shake the water out of it good enough? Oh, there we go. We got our light back. You know, this, since it has 2 of these fuel cells, this one might be defective or something. So, let's try this brand new one. We'll do this again. This one's brand new, never been in water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. 12 seconds in water. Vigorously shake this one out just like I did the other one. See if this one works. That's a little bit better, I guess. Let me turn the lights off so you can see just how pathetic this thing is. Alright, it's completely dark now. I can't even see anything. Okay, I found the power switch. Alright, we're going to shine it on the garage door. Huh. On camera, that actually doesn't look too bad. Like, I guess... Shine it on me so you can see me. I guess if you didn't have anything, I guess this might be better than nothing. But this is really, like, not a whole lot of light at all. Let's put it into lantern mode, see what that does. I mean, that's... this is like almost no light at all. This is like, I mean, almost a candle would put out this much light. So far I am very unimpressed with this thing. So this thing is absolutely pathetic. And especially since it came with 2 of these fuel cells and only one of them is really worth anything. The other one halfway works, and then one like works a little bit. I don't even know if this... Now it won't even come on. What is it, a one-time use? So what, you dunk it in water and you get 1 use out of it? Let's dunk it in water again. Let's see if we gotta revive it to get another 30 seconds of light out of this thing. Shake vigorously again. Oh, okay. It came back. But now it's like dimmer than it was before. Okay, well, so the original thing that I was gonna do for this video was I was gonna compare this flashlight to other flashlights, since it's like supposed to be an emergency flashlight, and it would be a flashlight that you would obviously use around your house, like if the power went out or whatever. So I was going to compare it to other flashlights that you'd use for that same type of thing. So I have 2 more, and I have obviously this one, I have this one, which is a mag light, and then I have this one, which is a Thor fire. It's one of those hand crank lights. The only thing that this is even going to really compare to is probably going to be the hand crank one, because the mag light is obviously going to be way brighter than this. But as far as price goes, this was $14, and then both of these were each $17. So we're going to be comparing all 3 of these together. And then just for fun, I'm going to throw in Streamlight ProTac 2. This is my daily flashlight. I use this thing every single day. I carry it with me everywhere. I've used this thing. I've been carrying this flashlight for like 6 years now. This is obviously my favorite flashlight. I know this thing works amazing. So we'll be comparing all of these. And I'm sure what we're really going to be doing is just putting this Hydralight to complete shame. So let's turn the lights back off and let's see how they compare. Alright, so I'm just going to shine each flashlight onto the garage door, so that way you can kind of get an idea of how bright each one is. The first one is going to be the Hydralight, which I will have you know I just had to put the cell back into the water to reactivate it again for like the 3rd or 4th time, and I think it's dimmer than it was to begin with. So this is the Hydralight. It actually doesn't look too awful bad on video. So that is the Hydralight. This is the hand crank light. That's setting 1. And then it has setting 2. So that's actually pretty significant. And I would actually much rather have this compared to the Hydralight because I can just hand crank it, and if it starts to go dead or whatever, I can just hand crank it and bring it right back rather than fighting with the different cells inside the water, which is just absolutely absurd. Next up, we have the Maglite, which you can tell how bright that is. Has different shades and stuff that you can adjust, or not different sizes that you can adjust it to. Which, while we're here and looking at this, I want to go on just a little bit of a rant. Why on earth in 2020 does Maglite make a flashlight that has a hole in the center of the beam, so that way whatever you're pointing it at is dark? That is absolutely absurd. I remember Maglites in like 2005 with incandescent bulbs having that problem, and I figured by 2020 with LED bulbs they would have eliminated that, but I guess not. So anyway, it is really bright. It just has an obnoxious beam. And then my personal favorite is the Streamlight. You can see it has a very clean beam. There's no holes or anything in the beam. It's just even light all the way across, and it's extremely bright. So wherever you're pointing the light is where you can see. Unlike the Maglite, where you get, whenever you open it up and try to get a very wide beam, you get this giant hole in the center. Like if you're trying to look at something, I mean, half of what you're pointing to doesn't have light on it. You'd have to point off to the side to try to get some light on something. Either that or go with a beam like that, which if you're trying to look at something in like a confined area would just absolutely blind you because there's no way to dim the light. Whereas like with the Streamlight, you can dim the light. That's full power, and then you can go, I think it goes to half power. So obviously you can tell, in my personal opinion, I think the Streamlight is the best out of this selection, but you can choose for yourself. So after seeing all of the beams in the dark, unless you're completely blind, I'm pretty sure that everybody can agree that the Hydralight is absolutely not worth anything. And it's especially not worth $14 whenever this and this are $17. So I wouldn't even get one of these for free because it's not even worth your time to mess with it. Also, like I said before I shined it, these fuel cells, or whatever, I think that's what they call them, fuel cells, are complete trash. This thing came with 2 of them, and anytime that I activate one and put it in there, I can most of the time get it going, but then like even after that test, it doesn't even turn on anymore. So if I want to turn this on, I got to take it out, get it wet again, shake it out, put it back in, sit here, click it and click it and click it and see if it comes on. If it doesn't come on, take it out, put it back in there, let it soak, shake it out, put it back in, and do that until I can get a little bit of light. So I was just barely able to get this thing to produce enough light to do this video. So if I was in like an emergency situation and this was the only light that I had, and I'm sitting here like, let's just say some type of natural disaster, and you're sitting here with these 2 fuel cells, and you're dunking these things in water and shaking them out and trying to get some light, I mean, you might as well just forget about it. Literally, anything is better than this thing. I would rather have a candle on a stick compared to this thing. Especially when, for just a few more dollars, you can get something like this, which is actually solar and hand crank. And you can and it's brighter than this, it's more reliable than this, and it has 3 different modes. It even has a strobe for if like you're broke down or something. So for just a few more dollars you can get this, or for the exact same price as this, you can get a Maglite, even with its like the stupid giant hole in the middle of the beam. As stupid as that is, it's still better than the Hydralight. And I don't know if you guys know this, but regular batteries like C batteries, which is what the Maglite takes, or AA's, which is what the Streamlight takes, those batteries, you can store them for like, I think like 10 years before, or I think they're rated to be stored for 10 years, or 8 to 10 years, something like that. So if you're looking for a light that you're gonna put in like an emergency kit or something, which is like what this is advertised to be, then just get one of these or even this. And then if you need batteries, just put the flashlight and a pack of batteries in your kit next to each other, and then you're going to be a million times better off. Or, like I said, just forget the batteries and get a light that's a hand crank light that you can just hand crank and you're good to go. This is complete trash. If you're going to get one of these, you might as well just take this on a fishing trip and use this as a boat anchor, because that is about all it's going to be good for. So now, just because I want to, we are going to break open one of these like little fuel cells or whatever and see what's inside, because it definitely is not any type of electricity, because they can't even power this thing. So let's see what's inside of this thing. So we are just going to break into this thing with a tomahawk. Maybe it's a little tougher than what I thought. Really? Break out the pliers. What is in there? Probably some unreleased alien technology that doesn't even work. Come on. Okay, so I want that cut. Alright. So it looks like a bar of metal. Really? Okay, there's like some type of crystals in here. I'm assuming that these crystals are like to absorb water, and then I guess they hold the moisture against this metal bar, and then this metal bar had this thing wrapped around it with rubber bands. This literally just looks like some type of pad. I'm really confused. So I guess somehow the water is supposed to react with this metal mesh and this metal rod. I'm assuming that the mesh and the rod are like two different types of metal that whenever water connects them, it's supposed to create electricity somehow or something. I don't really understand. Whatever it is, it clearly doesn't work, and it was a horrible idea. I don't even know how this thing got into production, and I don't know why enough people buy it that it is still in production. Obviously, like I've said a million times, this Hydralight is complete trash. Do not buy it. It's useless. Spend your money on something else. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If there's anything else that you want to see me test, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.